The years passed within the golden palace of Pharaoh. The little boy who had once floated on the Nile in a basket grew up surrounded by luxury and splendor. He was called Moses, Musa. He wore the finest garments, ate the most exquisite food, and was educated by the most renowned scholars of Egypt. But Moses was not Egyptian. He was Hebrew, a son of the children of Israel. And although he grew up in the palace, Allah never allowed his heart to forget his people. He saw their suffering. He saw them in the streets, bent under the weight of heavy stones, their backs scarred by the whips of Egyptian overseers. He saw the tears in their eyes and heard their groans of pain. Every lash of the whip echoed in his heart. Every cry of agony tore him apart from within. Moses was a prince of Egypt by adoption, but his soul belonged to the oppressed. One day, when he had grown into a strong and courageous young man, Moses was walking through the city. He entered a district where few high-ranking Egyptians dared to venture, the quarters of the Hebrew slaves. There, he saw something that ignited his anger. An Egyptian, a brutal overseer, was savagely beating a Hebrew man. The whip struck again and again. The Hebrew was on his knees, begging for his life, but the Egyptian showed no mercy. Moses' blood boiled. Rage surged within him like fire. He looked around. The streets were empty. No one was watching. He moved forward quickly.
The Quran tells us what happened next.
ودخل المدينة على حين غفلة من أهلها فوجد فيها رجلين يقتتلان هذا من شيعته وهذا من عدوه فاستغاثه الذي من شيعته على الذي من عدوه فوكزه موسى فقضى عليه.
A single blow. Moses did not intend to kill the man. He only wanted to stop the injustice, to save the oppressed. But Allah had granted Moses extraordinary strength, and the blow proved fatal. The Egyptian collapsed, dead. Moses stepped back in horror. His hands trembled. He looked at the lifeless body at his feet, then at the Hebrew he had saved, then at his own hands.
What had he done? The Quran records his words.
قال هذا من عمل الشيطان إنه عدو مضل مبين قال رب إني ظلمت نفسي فاغفر لي فغفر له إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.
Moses repented immediately. He acknowledged his mistake and begged Allah for forgiveness. And Allah, in His infinite mercy, forgave him. But the secret could not remain hidden forever. The next day, Moses returned to the city, his heart heavy with regret. He walked cautiously, glancing around in fear. Suddenly, he saw the same Hebrew man he had helped the day before. And once again, the man was involved in a dispute, this time with another Egyptian. When the Hebrew saw Moses, he cried out, "Oh Moses, help me again!" Moses approached, but this time with hesitation. He looked at the Hebrew sternly. The Quran says,
فأصبح في المدينة خائفا يترقب فإذا الذي استنصره بالأمس يستصرخه قال له موسى إنك لغوي مبين.
But as Moses raised his hand to intervene, the Hebrew man, thinking Moses was about to strike him, cried out in terror, "Oh Moses, do you intend to kill me as you killed a man yesterday?" Those words echoed through the street. The Egyptian heard them. Passers-by heard them. The secret was exposed. The news spread like wildfire. Moses, the adopted prince of Pharaoh, had killed an Egyptian to defend a Hebrew slave. Pharaoh's advisors gathered urgently. Their verdict was swift and merciless. Moses had to die. Pharaoh, the man who had raised him, ordered his execution. But Allah always protects his servants. A man, a believer who concealed his faith among Pharaoh's court, heard of the plot. He rushed out of the palace and ran through the city, searching for Moses. The Quran recounts this critical moment.
وجاء رجل من أقصى المدينة يسعى قال يا موسى إن الملأ يأتمرون بك ليقتلوك فاخرج إني لك من الناصحين.
Moses did not hesitate. He knew that staying meant certain death. He left the palace, the only home he had ever known. He left behind luxury, comfort, and security. He left behind his adoptive mother, Asiya, who loved him dearly. So he left it, fearful and watchful. He said, "My Lord, save me from the wrongdoing people." He did not know where to go. He had no plan, no destination, no provisions. He had only his faith in Allah and the hope that somehow he would be protected. The sand burned beneath his feet. The sun beat down upon his head. His lips cracked. His throat became as dry as the dust around him. Day after day, he walked. His sandals wore out. His royal garments tore. The prince had become a fugitive.
He prayed constantly. "O Allah, guide me to the right path. O Allah, do not abandon me in this desert."
ولما توجه تلقاء مدين قال عسى ربي أن يهديني سواء السبيل.
Days blurred into nights, nights into days. Moses no longer knew how long he had been walking. Hunger gnawed at him. Thirst tortured him. His legs trembled with every step. But he continued. Then, in the distance, so far away that at first he thought it was a mirage, he saw something. Greenery. Trees. Water? His heart leaped. His steps quickened despite his exhaustion. He stumbled forward, his eyes fixed on the distant vision. Was it real? Or was his thirst-delirious mind deceiving him? He drew closer. The shapes became clearer. Yes, it was real. A well, trees, and people. Shepherds gathered with their flocks. Moses dragged himself to the edge of the well, his legs ready to give way beneath him. He had reached Madian. And here, by this well in a foreign land, the next chapter of his destiny was about to unfold.